I just thought of the idea. So that's on me. Sorry, bud. You like I don't know. Just leave it there. Too bad we didn't have no 10 bell salute, eh? Fuck. I fucking hate your ads on your stream. I know. Just letting you know I hate them.
Who doesn't like a good WWE?
Oh, what happened there? Hold on.
Always well produced and usually...
Hold on. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what the hell happened there. So, I want to welcome you to our WrestleMania 38 predictions. Myself with Shadow. We're here. What you just saw right before we came in here was us paying tribute to one of our fallen friends, Vibes. He helped start the wrestling server with me and has helped us grow to where he is. His anniversary of his passing is coming up, and in honor of that, as well as his favorite event throughout the season, we decided to do a 10-bell salute. Shadow, your thoughts?
Miss that guy dearly. He was definitely somebody that brought us all together here in the wrestling community.
Yeah, I mean, he helped start this with me, and he would be proud of where we've gotten it to today. So, I just want to say that we miss him, and we wish he was still here. So
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
we got a fun-filled weekend this week. You have you have SmackDown tomorrow night. You have NXT Stand and Deliver, and then you have 2 nights of WrestleMania.
It's a lot of wrestling over the next 72 hours.
Tonight we are going to be covering just WrestleMania, and what our predictions we think are going to be for the show. My camera's all
Right,
fucked
and
up.
we're gonna start off with the Rousey Flair match here. And what's your thoughts? I like the angle.
I just want this match to be over and done with. I have not enjoyed any of the builds. I just think they've I don't know. I feel like there's no interest in it by a lot of people. Me personally, I feel like the outcome is already decided, and it's time to just move on.
Right, and I like the build because it reminds me of the triple threat build. I mean, it's pretty much parallel to it.
Right. It's something we've seen before.
Right, and I still, for the most part, for what I've caught of it, because that's usually my time to get up and do something. I've liked it. I mean, Rousey is now the face in the story now. She's not the heel,
Which is weird.
I mean, we can't forget, Rhonda, that you dissed all of us. We just can't. That's not something we can do.
Yeah, it's hard to forget that.
Right. It's that's a whole different story. But I got Rousey coming out of this one. I got not much more to say on it.
Yeah, same over here. I know I have a feeling she's gonna win. It's pretty much written that way, based off of everything that's going on. So I see Rousey coming out on top on this one. We want to go into the next match.
I do.
All right. So you want to talk about what I'm going to show before we start their predictions on this match?
So, as most of you know who listen to our podcast on a frequent basis, I was away this weekend. I was at actual WWE live events for the first time in 2 years in Canada, which was really awesome to go to. Went Saturday. We watched the house show, and my son got to meet Rhea Ripley. I got to meet Rhea Ripley. And then Sunday, which you're about to see, my daughter got to meet Becky Lynch. And she was pumped because the Saturday night she was cheering Becky on in the crowd. And we just happened to be walking around the arena on Sunday, and Becky and Seth were getting out of a cab. And I said, "Hey, Becky, can I get a picture?" And she says, "Of course." She even liked the video that I had posted on Twitter. And she said she remembered it. So my daughter got to meet, her favorite wrestler, which was really cool to me.
So that is Abby cheering on Becky from the night before, and then this would be the follow-up the next day.
It was such a cool moment just to come full circle for her for that. It was awesome.
I can't imagine what that would be like. That'd be like me taking my daughter someplace and she meeting one of the guys from Five Nights at Freddy's, because my daughter's obsessed with that.
Right. So many people have also given me crap. Oh, why didn't you get Becky's autograph? Yeah, I didn't even expect to see her. So I didn't have anything on me. And you know what? That picture right there is worth anything more than the autograph will ever be.
Right. Plus, you already have her autograph. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, a few times over.
So, talking about this match now, I think this is one of the more anticipated matches on the card. I'm actually looking forward to it, especially after what happened on Monday Night Raw, where Bianca cut off Becky's hair.
Right.
It did add some intrigue into the match, and if you've seen what Becky looked like afterwards, she now looks like a badass.
I thought it was going to go more of a shaved side look kind of thing, but she went with it and she rolled with it, and it still looks fine as hell.
Yeah. So she's come out on top. She's like, bitch, I still look cool as fuck. So it's like she's ready for it. Unfortunately, I don't think she's gonna be winning, and I think it's Bianca's time to shine again. This time on Raw.
I can't. I'm sure Abby will kill me, but I don't see her winning either. I don't even see this match going longer than 3 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about
they're
that.
gonna build this. They're gonna build this angle into SummerSlam. I don't see it going long. They want to go, oh, I got you, you got me kind of angle here, right? So
Yeah,
hopefully I'm wrong.
I don't know about that though. I mean, I would definitely like for it to see it go longer than that. They deserve to get a good 10 to 15 minutes.
They do,
But you never know with them.
I think the storytelling between the two of them is even good. You had Becky carry the storyline for a couple of weeks, which worked out too.
Mm-hmm.
Even at the house show this weekend, she was chirping and saying stuff, and I enjoyed Becky's angles this weekend, and I'm enjoying where she's going now. I'm still not a big fan of the gimmick that she's doing because, as you see, like
She's not
she's
a heel.
not a heel.
She's definitely
Definitely
not a heel.
not a heel. It's too hard. I don't understand why they ever let her go heel, but you got to change it up, right? I would have rather see Bianca going as the heel in this one.
Yeah, I think they should have swapped, but Becky wanted to come back as the heel. So
I get it, right? Like you got to change it up your character when you feel it's stale.
so let's go into the next match from Saturday night, the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match, where you have Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs taking on Usos.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Rick Boogs.
Why not?
But he reminds me too much of Freddie Mercury, and I'm not a very big fan of that. So
I don't know. He's like 10 times the size of Freddie Mercury.
obviously, but he's like the wrestling version of Freddie Mercury, and I think they caught on to that because he even does the whole warm up thing like Freddie Mercury. So I'm going with the Usos in this. I want to see them retain. I think I don't really.
it's gonna be a bad night for the Usos. I think their title reign is done. I think you're gonna have Nakamura and Rick Boogs win. They're gonna hold on to the belts for a little bit, and that's what's gonna cause Rick Boogs and Nakamura to split. Is that they're gonna fight over it, and it's gonna cause them to lose the belts, and that's when you're gonna see Boogs turn on Nakamura. In a couple months down the road.
Yeah, well, I can't be saying that I'm going against the Usos wearing a bloodline hat, even though
you can
we
go
get
against
farther down.
You can go against one and not the other.
Fair enough. But I don't see the Usos losing.
You saw
it's not the right time.
You saw Heyman sign an extension with WWE last year. He signed on for like a multi-year deal, and he's like, I couldn't pass it up. He goes, I'm here for the long haul. So
yeah, it's crazy, right? Like, hey, you think about it now, we've been watching Paul Heyman on WWE TV for 21 years. And then before that, he was ECW, so...
He's so good at what he does.
It doesn't matter where you put him. Doesn't matter if you love him or hate him. He is literally a genius.
So let's move on to another match on the card for Saturday. We have the Mysterios versus Miz and Logan Paul. Now, a lot of people say there should not be celebrities at WrestleMania, but that's what WrestleMania has been since the beginning. There's always been a celebrity on the card someplace. You had Mr. T in one of them. You had, I forget a couple of the other ones on there, but there's always been somebody who's been a celebrity
Cyndi Lauper, Alice Cooper.
Since Mania 1. Like, thanks for the follow, Jess. It's part of what WrestleMania is. It's about the appeal. It's about trying to attract all these different followers and watchers. Like, they want to try and grow. Donald Trump, I believe, was at a WrestleMania. You're right, Pest. So, yeah, because he was inducted into the Hall of Fame, so he had to be at WrestleMania. So, I don't mind it. I don't like what the Miz is doing with the with him stealing the mask and them getting it back. But I mean, that's like the thing. They always tend to fall into that when it's with Mysterio. How many times has he had his mask stolen? Like, it's happened way too many times.
Right. And over the weekend, again, I refer back to the house show because this is a Raw Superstars. You had the Miz just taunting the crap out of Ray and Dominic, and teasing that he had the mask. He'll get it back Monday because Logan was going to be wearing it, etc.
Lucha Logan.
So, yeah, Lucha Lift. Fuck. Anyway,
I mean, it's been a decent storyline because you have Miz and Ray, who can pretty much carry any storyline just by themselves.
right, and it gives Dom some exposure to how to carry a storyline for a long time.
I do like the fact that they did go down to NXT for a week or two. It did give Dom a little extra work. I think Dom belongs more in NXT than he does on the main card, but that's a discussion for another day.
Watching Dominic live this weekend, you can tell he's still very much learning. His timing wasn't the greatest in some spots where I watched. The first night they had a match. The second night he was just out there doing talking like it wasn't anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like his timing with the Devil 619 was off. It was. Oh, I just didn't like it. Like there was so much timing off with him. You can tell he still needs a lot. Is what I'm getting at.
I think they want to eventually have him take over the mask from his son, and
Right.
the problem with that is I don't think now is the time. So I don't see him doing anything to affect that.
Didn't they just mention on TV that they don't think he
right, he has to get it passed down. Right, he hasn't earned it yet. So I don't think Dom's gonna turn on his dad. Like there's people that are speculating. I think they're just gonna. I don't think they're gonna win. I think Miz and Logan are gonna win, and it's gonna be used to help build Dom up, and hopefully get him better. And maybe he does go down to NXT for a little while with Ray as his mentor and teach him the ropes.
Right, and WWE is not dumb. They're planting the seeds with that comment too, with the whole passing of the mask down type thing. So I guess we're gonna sit and wait and see what happens. But my outcome for this is the Mysterios.
Next we have Drew McIntyre and Happy Corbin. Yes, I am skipping over the other one that is listed next.
I caught that. I don't care for this match.
See, a lot of people don't care for this match. I think this is going to be a good match. Like,
I don't think it belongs on a Mania card.
Why not?
Not on the main card. It could be a pre-show, but I don't.
Why not? You have a former heavyweight champion, and you have somebody who's put in time and effort and has built this character that he's done. He's done through so many different character changes. He's been so focused on everything. Why doesn't he deserve to be on a Mania?
I don't think so. Like, why are you going to have this match over a championship match? There's two titles that aren't even on this card right now.
It has nothing to do with having this over that, though.
No, I know that, but this is where
they could still have the other match. They could still have those matches on the card. They're the ones choosing not to.
Right, but this is my opinion on it. I don't think it deserves to be there, right? So
I understand your opinion. I'm just saying I've
said it before. I'm like, Drew is still very stale to me now. Maybe just because I watched him through the whole pandemic era that I'm just bored of him, and I just don't like Corbin in general.
Well, that explains your reasoning right there.
So as far as I'm concerned, I don't care who wins.
I didn't like Corbin as the Lone Wolf when he first came up. I loved his broke Corbin gimmick. Like, that was the best gimmick out of everything. The way he did that, it was so good with everything he did. And the Happy Corbin gimmick has grown on me. He has not yet to suffer a loss as Happy Corbin. I don't think he's lost a singles match in almost a year now. Or maybe 8 months, I should say.
SummerSlam is when they were in Vegas, right?
Right, so that was August. and he hasn't lost since then.
Or September, October, November, December, January, February, March. 7 months, 8 months, yeah.
But he hasn't lost a singles match since then. And I don't think he loses. I don't think he loses Saturday. I think he's going to beat Drew.
I'll just take your word for it, and I'll go with Corbin on that one because like I said, I don't care. The next match, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods versus Shaman and Holland, with I would assume Butch in the corner.
Yes, Butch is going to be at ringside.
So this one, I don't know. Like, I feel like it's kind of a pushed angle because of what happened with Big E.
No,
but,
see, the whole thing was this was happening before.
No,
that happened.
I understand.
And it was supposed to be a 6-man. It was supposed to be 3-on-3. And it's unfortunate that Big E had his injury and is not able to perform. Because
maybe he'll be there.
Because then we would have got to see Butch in the ring for the first time in a match.
Or maybe Big E will be there just as or at least come out with them.
I hope so. But
for this, I'm going with Sheamus and Holland because I'm bored of the New Day at this point. Like, they're great, but I'm bored of them. They need to do something different.
I think Sheamus and Holland are going to win this as well. What it does is it's going to help build their characters and help build Butch's as well.
I also think that it helps a little bit if they take a big loss at Mania for the New Day, because it kind of maybe helps build the separation angle, like an actual one now, because we're going on 10 years of New Day.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
You don't normally see factions last this long, so
there's 2 segments left that's been announced so far for Saturday night.
Let's
start off with Seth Rollins.
No. We'll leave that one to last. Let's do KO first.
All right, we'll do Kevin Owens, the KO show. You think this is going to be the main event?
I mean, I got to go with my boy Kevin, though, no matter what happens, whether it's a main event, whether it's just a segment or not.
But have you been reading up on it? Because they're saying that it's going to be the main event because they don't want people to leave after Stone Cold comes out.
It makes sense, but, like, who the hell in their right mind is going to leave after that?
It all depends on what the main event is. If it's Charlotte and Ronda, yes, they will.
Okay, if it's Seth versus the mystery opponent, no, they won't, because everyone wants to know who it is.
That's not going to happen, no. That won't be the main event.
I think that's going to be, like, open the show for some reason.
I think it might, too.
Just to get it out of the way.
I don't know if it's that. I think it's to set up... I'll talk about that in a minute.
Right. Okay, yeah.
But with Kevin Owens and Stone Cold, I think this is going to start out as a talking segment, and then it's going to end in a fight.
An impromptu little matchup.
I think it's going to actually be a match, and I think somebody's going to take a three count.
You would have to assume in that case it's Stone Cold, because he's always said he wants to help the business, not hurt it.
Right.
Doesn't hurt his legacy to pass it on to Kevin Owens.
No, it does not.
And everybody knows Stone Cold's never been quiet about it either. He doesn't want to come back under conditions where he's made to look like a fool or anything like that. He wants his legacy intact. He wants to do his best for WWE, his best for his brand as well. And
he wants to be Kevin able to write his own.
Right, and Kevin Owens is, like he said on Raw, he is the next Stone Cold of this generation. I don't care. He really would be.
His mic skills are really good.
Like Saturday night and Sunday night, Kevin Owens opened both live event shows, and he carried a whole conversation for 20 minutes. He carried on a segment for 20 minutes on each night, then wrestled a match. Like, Owens can go on the mic. He's very skilled in the ring. I don't see why Stone Cold would have a problem passing the torch.
Yeah, I don't see so either. So I think if there is an impromptu match on it, we are going to see Kevin Owens be victorious in it.
Well, I got a prop first. Hang on here. Because, got to support the homeland, boy. You know. So I'm Kevin Owens all the way.
And now we'll come to the last segment in night one. Seth Rollins versus a mystery opponent, aka
Bray
Vacant.
Wyatt.
So that is one of the rumors that has been out there, that it could be Bray Wyatt. He could show up at the show. He is over at WrestleCon, which is only 28 minutes away from AT&T Stadium. So it is not far. There are other rumors that it's going to be Shane McMahon as the mystery opponent. And then there's also the main rumor, which everybody believes that it's going to be Cody Rhodes.
I think out of the 3 scenarios, Cody is the win.
Out of the 3 scenarios, I think the way that WWE does it is Vince is gonna come out, make the announcement. It's gonna have something along the lines of this guy is a son of a famous wrestling personality or something along those lines. Shane's gonna come out and think it's him.
And Vince, you think they're gonna Becky?
And then Vince is gonna be like, "It's not you. It's not you."
Just head up to the back. Get out of here.
And then Cody
we fired you. Go home.
And then Cody comes out and does it.
Oh.
And it's the full AEW entrance from Cody.
Yeah, now I can see what you meant by it have to be the beginning.
Music, everything. So they show people that AEW did matter. And that
I don't think Vince is scared to do that, though.
He's not. But I think that'll be huge if they do that. Because they're acknowledging it, and they're saying if you decide to come here after your contract with AEW, you won't be treated differently.
But that also sets up the fact that, and many people might not agree with this, but if they go that route where they acknowledge the AEW stuff, that is when WWE but accepts that AEW is finally competition in the world for them.
Yeah, no. It still doesn't mean that.
I think it does.
It doesn't, because they're nowhere near the competition.
They're not, and like Seth Rollins said, they're on a different level. They still have a long way to go.
Right.
But see, that's another thing you think of, too. Seth Rollins just did that interview.
Correct, and that's why I think they do it that way. It all ties in together. Seth knows what he's doing.
Well, yeah. Even though he's an ass, we're not coming to say it, you know.
Well, the only reason Becky came over is because it was your daughter and she remembered her from the video.
That's fair.
Because she wouldn't go to anybody else.
No, she literally took off. So she was not having it.
It might mean that they're giving up on branding their superstars their way if they're coming from another organization. Not if they're still coming through their system. Yeah, they're still gonna find ways to own the character, even though they did give him the copyright to his name, so he owns it. But they might start realizing that this is how they can get the bigger wrestlers back to the business. So it all depends. It could just be a start into the way. Everything all right over there,
Technical
Shadow?
difficulties on my end. Sorry. Camera's doing that thing again.
But I definitely see it being Cody, whether it's on Saturday night or if they do a swerve and then Saturday night is somebody else and then Seth still wrestles Cody on Sunday. Either way, we're going to see Cody versus Seth at some point this weekend.
Or Monday, just for fun.
They will not put it. They will not tease it past Sunday, in my opinion, at least. And when they do fight, Cody's winning.
Well, 72 hours from this moment, we will know. Because WrestleMania is 72 hours away from right now. Or no, less than that. No,
No,
72
it's
hours.
71 because the show would be started already for a half hour.
Right. So we're 71 hours away from knowing.
Yeah, it would be a pretty big change, saying, but you have to see what they're open to as well. You don't know if that means he's going to be able to keep his merchandise shirt line at PWT. I don't know.
There's also another theory that has gone around that I read in groups
Yeah,
that I'm in.
4 to 5. We'll be
Uh,
lucky if it works 72 hours from now. What were we saying? What were we saying, Shadow?
Hey, I'm sorry I'm dealing with a crappy computer at the moment that I need to get fixed. My apologies. My thought is there's also another rumor going around that it could be Moxley because they have used Moxley's name on TV, but like Seth explained, you can't have Roman and Seth without acknowledging Dean Moxley.
And the way he did it wasn't a shot. It was to help build the story, which was perfect.
I don't know. It's all speculation. We're just waiting to see as well. So whoever it is, as long as it's not Shane McMahon, I think I'll pick.
I think it's going to be Shane McMahon to start and swerve a lot of people just so they can get both reactions.
And I will say, whoever is coming out is going to pick up the win against Rollins. They want that WrestleMania moment.
You are right, saying you can try to make the stream look good, but Shadow does ruin it. Yep.
Oh my god! I'm just about to leave. God damn.
So, chat, what's your thoughts on Saturday night one? Is there any match you're looking forward to? And what are your thoughts on who Cody Rhodes' opponent, Seth Rollins' opponent, would be?
That's a little force feeding the crowd here.
Yeah, trying to help get them involved to help stall some time so you can fix your camera.
For some answers here, do you think there's an overrun time on night one?
What is the time now? Is it 4 hours? Is it from 8 to 12?
4 hours both nights. Yeah. Do you think we get an overtime, or do you think we're under time? Right on time?
I think they're going to try to be as close to on time as possible. From what I've heard is they might do like a 2-hour pre-show thing on USA Network.
Cool, it's working now. Awesome.
They might do a 2-hour pre-show thing on the USA Network leading into Peacock. But I don't know if that's true. I haven't really looked on my
it wouldn't really
channel guide. It would, because it would give people 2 hours of seeing things to try and entice them to get Peacock for the show.
But they could do that with the stand and deliver, because that's free.
It's not free. It's the same thing.
Isn't stand and deliver on USA this week?
No, it's on Peacock.
Oh. Oh, in Canada it's on Sportsnet, so that's a free channel basically here.
Oh well. No, stand and deliver is on Peacock. Yeah, if Bray Wyatt comes out, which
if it's Wyndham or Cody, it's gonna get the biggest pop of Mania, 100%.
If it's Wyndham, I think it's gonna be amazing, because the fact that the last time you saw him was at WrestleMania.
And remember, he has also teased in stuff that he has done that a character change was coming. So even if he does come back, he might come back as Wyndham and come back as a cult of Wyndham. He might not come back as Bray Wyatt.
And you have Jason Baker, who has done all of the Firefly Funhouse puppets and everything else, tweet that he's going to be at WrestleMania.
Right. So we don't know. We could hope. But there is also a lot of evidence that points to Bray not really coming back as well, because he has signings and stuff coming up. And if he goes back, I don't know if Vince lets him.
He has been doing the signings as Bray Wyatt. You have to remember that.
They're allowed to, as long as it's FKA. As long as
So
they sign an FKA, they're allowed to.
I don't know. Is he signing it that way though?
I don't know. I'd have to talk to Brittany
Yeah, you have to ask Brittany or
to see
Jody. But
how he
from
signs
what I
it.
saw, I don't think he was.
So it's interesting, right? Because there's still a lot of speculation about the trademark Bray that he never gave it up either. So
Yeah, so there's a lot of things behind that. I personally would love to see him back in wrestling. I miss him. The only place I don't want to see him go is AEW because then he can't do what he wanted to do. I think the other good fit would be Impact, but they're not going to be able to afford him.
yeah,
That's
Wyndham would
just
require a little bit of money to go
that's
to
just my
Impact.
opinion on it. But if he never comes back to wrestling, then that's his choice, and I can't wait to see what he comes out with in regards to the movie he was doing.
Oh, I 100% agree. Saying I wouldn't say 98. I go 75-20, and anything other than those two is just nobody wants to deal with it. Before we start in tonight, too, are you guys excited for the Hall of Fame this weekend, or I guess Friday night tomorrow?
So the Hall of Fame is tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. I believe it's on Peacock. It'll be live right after SmackDown.
Shout out Nikki Bella for thinking Vader was still alive.
She didn't say that.
Hey,
Shout out for Shadow for reading Ringside News.
I read a lot of shit.
She never said that. She said for speeches about him.
I
And
still feel like she would have said something like that.
but they twisted her words to say that because that's what.
Either way, it's
No,
still hilarious.
it's. I don't know. I'm excited for Scott Steiner. Him with a live mic. Woo.
Oh, good God. I forgot about him. I still think WWE.
Exactly, Just. She was horribly misquoted, and Shadow is one of the people that believed it.
Oh, well. Either way. I don't think it's that far fetched to assume that she might have said something like that. It is misquoted, fine, but it's not that far fetched for her. Come on now.
Yeah, it's not, but
My next point,
she knows
though,
better than that.
is I think WWE really dropped the ball on the Hall of Fame this year. You bought The Undertaker in, it should have only been him. We don't need to have a whole bunch of people in every year. You're not making it special anymore.
Oh, I agreed with this. This is what I said from the beginning when they announced him that they shouldn't have done anybody else. But how many are they? How many are going in this year? Four, right?
The Steiner brothers going into the wrestling wing, Taker going into the wrestling wing,
Vader,
and then
Sharmell,
Sharmell as a manager.
and that's it.
They didn't induct a celebrity, which kudos to them. I just think that this would have been the year you just induct one. You give Taker the Andre the Giant status.
Yeah, I mean, I would have been very happy with that, and then just have everybody come out and just talk about him. But
You also think too, the Hall of Fame disappeared for a number of years, and it was special for quite a few years. Now it's just getting.
well, now they're trying to make it a every year thing, and it needs to not be that.
At the risk of sounding like an asshole to most people in here, it's a cash grab at max now. That's all it is. It's an extra event that you can pay for that you can go to.
Well, it's the same. It's part of SmackDown. It's at the SmackDown. It's right after SmackDown. So whoever goes to SmackDown gets this.
Interesting. So where's all the talent? Just going to be behind the stage then?
They're going to come out to the ring.
Huh.
That's what they did last year. Remember?
Yeah.
Or was it last year? Yeah, it was last year because Bret Hart.
Last year, yeah.
Yeah, it was in the ring. Bret Hart came out, and then you had
you got attacked by that fan.
and then you had Dax come out and punch the shit out of the fan. So I think they like doing it this way. It kind of gets the fans closer up to it, and it gives the fan more for the money for that night.
Oh, cool. So the Hall of Fame show is going to be 3 hours because Taker needs. Awesome.
So let's move on to night 2.
This one is oof.
We'll start off with the Fatal 4-Way tag for the women's tag team titles. It was Cash. It wasn't Dax. My mistake then.
It was one of FTR.
It was one of them too.
It was one of FTR. Yeah.
So we have the Fatal 4-Way for the women's tag team match. You have Queen Zelina and Carmella, who are the champions, versus Sasha Banks and Naomi, Rhea Ripley, and Liv Morgan, and Natalya and Shayna Baszler.
So, something I just realized about this matchup before you get to your point. So, you have one member of each team that is formally. Oh, I guess. Did Natalya hold the tag belts already?
Natalya had it with Tamina.
Okay, so Baszler and Natalya are both champs. So never mind. My point's irrelevant here. I thought it was one member of each team.
Yeah, I knew which way you're going. But you have Queen Zelina and Carmella as the current champs. I think
Sasha's a former.
Sasha's a former champ. Natalya's a former champ, and so is Shayna.
And Rhea.
Rhea had the tag belts with Nikki.
Nikki Ash, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Huh. If she did, then there is at least one from each team. So your point's valid.
Okay. Anyways, go on with your point. Sorry.
I think that we're gonna see new champs here.
100%.
I think it's gonna be a team that was together, then wasn't for a few years, and is now back. I think I think Team Bad is going to come out on top.
I thought about that for a second, then I realized I'm going with my emo girls here, Rhea and Liv.
I could see that happening as well. I just think that the way they've if Naomi and Sasha don't win, I could still see Sonya causing it to not happen, and still being along those lines.
Yeah, I could see that. But I just feel like Liv and Shayna, Natalya though too.
Please don't give them the belts. Please. All right.
No, I think Natalya and Shayna are better at chasing than being the champs.
Correct.
It makes teams look strong facing them. They don't need the belts. They'll win them eventually, but it won't be at Mania. Because you have to have at least the chase for so long before you get the win, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think Rhea and Liv walk out tomorrow. You've built Liv up into a quote unquote main event player now. She's fought for the belt a couple times and lost her opportunities, obviously. And I think now is just a way to give her the championship she's worked hard for in the last few months.
That'd be a good way to do it.
And having Rhea as a strong partner, it works out, right? So,
let's go on to the next match that we have. It's the Anything Goes match. Johnny Knoxville versus Sami Zayn. You don't look too.
I hope Zayn knocks living shit out of Knoxville. Zayn is a hard worker, and kudos to him for even putting himself in this position. It shows that he's got range within the company. He's willing to do whatever it takes to, make the higher ups a little happy, I guess. But I'm sure we'll see a few of the Jackass guys come out at this point because it's an anything goes.
Mm-hmm.
And anything less than Zayn winning here is, I don't think you'd give an 80-year-old Knoxville the win here.
80-year-old Knoxville.
He's not 80. He's like 60, but not the point here.
I don't even think he's that old.
I don't even know. Let's Google this real quick.
I don't know. I just have a feeling that with the Anything Goes stipulation, that we're going to end up seeing...
He's 51.
Okay.
So he's 60.
Great. So that means you think I'm 50. Yeah, exactly. With this stipulation, I think that we are going to see Johnny Knoxville win.
Clean?
No, it definitely won't be clean. You're going to have... There's no way it could be a clean finish with this. It's anything goes. Now we're going to move over to the next singles match. Pat McAfee versus Austin Theory. I'm actually very excited for this match. I love Pat McAfee, whether he's in commentary, whether he is wrestling, whether he's standing at ringside doing everything. He just gets it. Like, he understands what the business is about. He does what he needs to do to put not only himself over, but others over. I just think he's going to... And we all know he wrestles. We all know he has the skills to do it. I actually see him beating Austin Theory in this match.
I think Vince is too high up on Theory to let that happen, but I would enjoy McAfee winning because I'm a huge fan of McAfee's as well. I love his commentating. I love his show. Recently I've been watching a lot of his podcasts there. Like, I've gotten into Pat McAfee is, not just the wrestling interviews that he's done. Man, his hype even in the studio. And then I watched some of his NFL highlights and all crap he's anything to do there. He's always, I think he was built for wrestling, whether he's an actual wrestler or not. He was built to be in this sport. Yeah,
just the way he carries himself, what he does, like the way when he was at ringside at Raw with Finn Balor, how he was banging on the ring apron, trying to get the fans into it. Like, that stuff you don't see anymore. That's what used to.
No, not. You don't see guys like built like McAfee, like who come in from another sport or something, be as educated and understanding of wrestling psychology.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, you don't even see, like, when Rey Mysterio's on the outside with dominating, you don't even see Rey doing that anymore. Like, that just seems like it's a lost art in wrestling. You used to see that a lot back in the 90s. Like, having the valet trying to do things like that. Like, it seems like it fits. And he just understands it. He understands the business.
Right, and it's refreshing to see, especially in today's world.
So yeah, I think McAfee's gonna win. You said you think Theory's gonna win.
I personally think McAfee will win, but I just feel like Theory gets them because of Vince McMahon. Again, I watched Theory wrestle this weekend. Wasn't impressed. I don't think he has his timing down either. He missed a lot of spots this weekend that looked terrible. He recovers his botches by grabbing his phone and taking pictures, and it's annoying. I did not enjoy it. He's just a mess. I don't like him.
Okay. So now we're going to go on to the triple threat tag team match for the Raw Tag Team Champions. You have RK Bro versus Street Profits versus Alpha Academy. How about you start off this one, Shadow?
So, I'd love to see rated RK Bro walk away as champ still, but I'm liking the heelish turn of the Street Profits. And then I'm enjoying, as much as it's annoying, that man is so annoying live. That man insulted Canada so much this weekend, it wasn't even fun.
I thank you.
Yeah, you should hear it live. It's annoying. Oh my god, that man drove me nuts. Even Abby was covering her ears when he was speaking. It was, but you don't get wrestlers like the Alpha Academy. I think they come out champs because the work that Gable's putting in on the mic and Otis is putting it in the ring. I could see them walking out as the champs here. Street Profits looking for like a heel turn, which would be refreshing because they're always the baby faces. And then you're gonna see Orton and Riddle set up something, I think.
I am thinking that the Street Profits are coming out on top. I think it's time that they get the belts back. I do like the heel turn that they have started. I hope they complete it in this match.
Even if it is a tease, it sets up for something nice, though.
I do like Alpha Academy with the way they've done everything. Chad Gable is that annoying person, but he's so good at it, it makes it believable. And I love the fact that he went back to his NXT days with the shush. Like he brought that back from when he was in NXT with American Alpha with Jason Jordan. So
Gable is reminding me of an early 2000s Kurt Angle right now. I'm enjoying it.
And it's just so good with what he's done so far. I would not be upset if they won the belts back. I think there is going to be a loss to RK Bro, and it is going to start to turn, and it's going to start to break and fracture those two, to where we end up getting the. I think we're going to get a match between them two at either WrestleMania Backlash or at Money in the Bank.
See, what I would do in that, going off what your point there, is Backlash had them try to get the belts back, and then they lose. And then it's the major blow up.
So, like, this starts it.
You tease a little bit that they're breaking
and that
tomorrow
finishes it.
or Saturday, and then Backlash just full explosion.
But I think the Street Profits are going to come out on top.
And I'm going to go with the Alpha Academy.
Okay.
And then
good.
I'm going to skip the next one here because I want to talk about it later to go before the last one.
Okay.
I like the angle where Bobby Lashley's back and took Omos off his feet. That man is huge. Again, that's another superstar I've seen this weekend, and oh my God, he can barely get through the door in Kitchener. Holy crap, he's big. It also made me realize how small Rey Mysterio was. But,
so that reminds me of when I went to a WCW show when I was younger, when the Big Show was in WCW, and he was called the Giant, and I was like 10 at the time. And
he said he wasn't 60.
I'm not 60. I said I wasn't 50.
Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
And it was just looking up at him myself as a child, it's just how ginormous he was. So I can understand what you're saying in comparison with Rey Mysterio to Omos.
Yeah, it was insane seeing Omos like come out even on the live stages. All that, like, oh my God, man.
Now,
it was just crazy.
It was great to see Bobby knock him off his feet. It actually makes it believable that he might be able to beat him. I still think Omos beats Lashley.
But do you make Lashley look that weak coming back? Or you make him look that weak with the justification that he's coming off an injury?
Right. And the fact that it's not really looking weak when you're facing somebody that big.
No, but it does make it look weak when you're facing someone that green.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they're gonna have him. I don't think they're gonna have him lose his winning streak yet.
I think this is a pre-show match, though. Unfortunately, I think this is the one that pre-show.
There are no pre-show matches.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't think it's that deep in the card then.
No, it probably won't be deep in the card. But
it'll be a filler match somewhere.
But I think Omos is going to win, so his winning streak stays alive.
All right. I'm going to go with Lashley.
Okay. Now you want to talk about the one you skipped?
Yes, because this one is really good. And I really like the work that's done on both sides of it. And I'm really... you forget that Edge has the range that he... And then he does stuff like this. And you're like, holy shit. Like, this is Edge. It kind of reminds me of, like, the Brood meets the... I don't even think you can compare it to anything else he's done. It's the Brood meets something new. Like, it's that dark. I'm loving it.
It's so good. His range between what he's done, him switching over to new music while this is going on, it just fits. Like everything just fits. People are upset that his music changed. They're like, oh no,
Everybody
not
was
Edge's
upset
music,
because
they
they thought,
right. And then they listen to it, they realize it, and they're like, oh shit, it's still fucking sick.
you also realized that Edge made the call. It wasn't the higher ups. It was
Exactly.
him. And then you're like, okay, you get it. But like a lot of people were really mad about it when to be. Like, he's got a few more dream matches left, and then I think he retires on his own basis.
Well,
Because if you listen to the ENC podcast,
he came back
he
when?
had his list. 2020.
Right,
He came back January of 2020.
All right, so he's good for. He's technically good until next year's WrestleMania, because his contract was for 3 years.
Right, and like if you listen to the ENC podcast, he had a list of guys he wants to work with. He's worked with Roman already. He's working with AJ. He worked with Randy when he came back, but that was just more probably WWE. Like, I'm sure there's a couple more young guys he wants to work with, and then he's going to retire.
He probably wants to work with Seth.
I think Seth is one, and he's started something with Seth, but I don't think they're done yet.
And I think KO might be the other.
I don't know. It should... whatever Edge decides, it'll be fun to watch. But this match is going to be good. Potentially steal of night 2.
I'm very excited for this match. I want to see Edge's entrance. I'm just curious as to what he's going to do. Like,
with all due respect to the main event of night 2, I still feel like Edge and AJ might steal the show.
I could see that, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Wouldn't be the first time a show that a match on the card is not the main event that steals the show, right? So,
I think Edge is going to win, though.
I want AJ to win because I think he deserves it. But in my heart of hearts, I gotta go with my Canadian boy. I gotta go with Edge.
And then we have, last but not least, the main event.
Reigns, Lesnar, 12. But it's a different feel this time around with them. And
this match,
I'm not even complaining.
As much as like people were complaining that it's another rematch. They fought so many times before Mania. This is different. Like,
it's a way different build. It's way different characters.
It's the opposite.
It's not Reigns, Lesnar, 2014.
It's the opposite of how everything was beforehand. You have Roman as the heel. You have Lesnar as the face. You have Roman just...
Not just the face, though. The biggest face in the company right now.
Roman's build of his character over the last 6 months alone has been phenomenal. Going from the tribal chief to the needle mover to now God mode. Like, just the transitions in each of those phases, to me, has been unbelievable.
There's a lot of, with all due respect to Roman's work, he's carried it, he's defended it. Okay. But there's a lot of people politicking about the fact that they want Roman to dismiss Hogan's record high up because they want to start moving Hogan down the list because of stuff that's happened personally with him. They want to move him out of the top 5s.
But this is not the belt that does that. Hogan never had this belt.
No, but they still use it as Days of Champion. They made that reference on Smackdown last week too. Monday this week. That he's up in company with Hulk Hogan, Bruno Sammartino. They have mentioned that.
But they also mentioned that Roman has been outlasting Brock at everything.
Right, but what I'm saying this is what the politicking I'm hearing. I'm not saying that I'm right. I'm not saying it's right. What I'm saying is because of personal stuff that Hogan has done, they want to try to not erase him from history because you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
But they want to move him down the history lists.
I
He's coming up to Hogan's reign, I believe.
Are we sure? Let's see if I can look this up.
I'm pretty certain he's coming up to Hogan's number.
What belts? What it was the heavyweight belt that he had?
Hogan only held the heavyweight and the big gold.
Yeah, big gold is different than. Let's see.
We're going with WWE logic here. They don't even count Ric Flair's 3 big gold wins that don't ever exist for some reason.
All right, let's see. Title history. Reigns. So Hulk Hogan had it for 1,474 days. That was his first reign. Yeah, I don't think Roman is getting close to that. There's no way he's getting close to that.
So what the hell were they talking? I don't know. WWE mentioned something about it.
Yeah, they were saying that he was just getting up there with likes because of how long his reign is. But there's no way they're going to have him hold on to it until then.
Maybe it was just a reference point to
just
that he's putting himself up in that list. Okay,
right.
So my misunderstanding. I apologize.
Because the only way he ever does that is he has to hold the belt for at least 4 years. And
I know.
And if he fights who the rumors are that he's going to fight next year, it might be. Personally, I would like to see somebody beat him at WrestleMania next year for the belt and take it over him and be the first person to pin Roman since 2019. But I don't think that's going to happen yet.
Sorry, I was doing something in the background.
That's fine.
I didn't quite catch what you said either. So, but I don't know. I think the ultimate, and I'm going to say it because I caught something of what you said, but not all of it. I think Lesnar walks away the champ tonight or Sunday night.
I disagree.
Or not Lesnar. Reigns walks away champ, and Rock's music hits.
And what happens?
I don't know where it goes from there, but I can tell you it's probably setting up for something. Because I believe The Rock was interviewed recently where he said
he wants a match at Mania with Roman.
So I guess we wait and see where this goes. But I want Lesnar to win, but it's not going.
Where it goes is at the end of night 2, Rock is going to come out and confront Roman. And you're probably going to have Roman turn on The Rock.
Or you have Rock present the new belt randomly. And
no, that's going to be set for
Monday.
They're either going to do that on Monday or on Smackdown.
I feel like you'd have to do it Monday because WrestleMania Monday, right?
Yeah, it's called the Raw after WrestleMania now.
That's a long. Okay, anyways. But,
I mean,
yeah, the new belt will either be presented night 2 or the descent from the heavens on Raw.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be presented night 2. I'm curious as to see what they do with the belt on Raw afterwards and how they're going to get to the next champion. That's what I'm curious at.
Well,
so, people in the chat box, what's your thoughts on night 2? You think it's going to be a good night? What's your favorite match you're looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to Edge AJ.
I'm looking forward to Edge versus AJ. I'm looking forward to Brock versus Roman. And I'm looking forward to Pat versus Fat Sexy with Shane versus Rollins.
Hey, if it's Shane and Rollins, I swear to God.
What's going on, Fats? How are we doing tonight? Yeah, I think that might actually happen on night 1, and then we get Rollins versus Cody on night 2. That's what I was saying I'm excited for WrestleMania overall. I know a lot of people are not. People are down this year, not being too. Shadow's got some visitors. Everything's going good. Everything's going good over here. Where are you heading for vacay?
This man's going down to Florida. He's
Everything
leaving us all behind.
everything good over there?
Just Abby's getting ready for bed finally.
All right.
So, like we normally do, we give it out of a 10, but because it's Mania, let's give it out of a 12 because it's 2 nights, 10 each night.
So overall for night one, I think it's going to be an 8.25 out of 10. Just because of the return. And then I think night two we're going to get 7.75 out of 10.
Okay, so you're being an asshole. So it's about 15 out of 20.
So yeah, it's 16 out of 20.
Yeah, you had to do all that math. We're not
It's
Scott
hard.
Steiner, okay?
It's
We're
not
not doing Steiner
hard.
math.
I didn't do 123% and everything else. I did mine added easily. Not my fault you can't do it.
I'm not trying to do it. Night one with the return, I'm going to give it a solid 9 because I think the return and Owen Show will steal it all. And night two, I'm going to give it a 8.5.
All right, so you're rating it a 17.5 out of 20.
Yep.
And I got a 16. Respectable numbers.
If you're Dave Meltzer, nobody gets a 5-star match or
Yeah.
Saturday night.
Either night wouldn't matter anyway. But want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you're listening to it on our podcast, same as well. We'll be doing on Saturday, on Sunday afternoon, we're going to be doing our night one results. And then Monday night at 7 p.m., we're going to be doing our night two results. Be sure to check it out. Turn on notifications if you don't have us yet. And we hope to see you again soon.
Bye.